Hello, friends. Welcome to Village Idiots Christ and Nuts for Jesus and Just Plain Nuts. We are in New King James tonight. The New International did not work for this one. And so, boy, they changed the snot out of this. The New International, my old New International is back at the house. And so, New International, I do not care for it as much as the old 90s version, which was much better. It's the audio version I've been listening to for 20 years. Still got the original audio version. Thank God they haven't changed that. So we're in chapter 11, Ecclesiastes, and let's just get on going. Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. Give a serving to 7, or also to 8, for you do not know what evil will be on the earth. In other words, be generous. Cast your bread upon the waters. Share generously is what it's saying. Give portions to 8, 7, even 8. Share. If you have an abundance, share it with others, and God will bring it back to you. I believe in reaping and sowing, or sowing and reaping here. You make a, I was listening to the Bible today working. It was, when you give to the poor, it's like lending to God, and He will reward you. Man, God doesn't miss a trick. I've never seen the righteous something and their children begging bread. Man, God's taking note of what you're doing. And if you're sowing good seeds here and you're providing others, I guarantee you when your need comes, it may not be what you want exactly, but it'll be enough to keep you going and keep you fed and get you moving. Hey, that's sowing and reaping right there. Let's keep going here. Verse 3. If the clouds are full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. If a tree falls to the north or the south, in the place where the tree falls, there it shall lie. I have no idea why we're talking about this. It's just different. He who observes the wind will not sow, and he who regards the clouds will not reap. Now, this is a cool one. The end I get, if the clouds are full of rain, they themselves empty upon the earth. And this is the funny one. If a tree falls to the south and north, in the place where the tree falls, there it lies. Yes, it does. The tree ain't getting up after it falls down and moving. So I guess just to make the point, some things never change. Once a tree falls down, that's where it is. Now this is good. This is about lazy people. He who observes the wind will not sow, and he who regards the clouds, talk about will not reap. It's talking about daydreaming. People just looking, wow, that cloud looks like an elephant. That's pretty cool, man. Wow. And there's some people who spend hours. I told you before, man, I used to sit in truck stops over the weekend waiting to deliver on a Monday, and I could lose a whole weekend watching at the petrol truck stop. They have big TV rooms. I could lose a weekend just sitting there watching movie after movie. No praying time, no Bible reading, just losing time watching movies. So I'm guilty of this too. So I think we all are, in different ways. And so, yeah, no big deal. It's just, procrastination and just kind of getting caught up and just doing nothing, Verse 5, as you do not know what is in the way of the wind, or how the bone grows in the womb of her who is with child, so you do not know the works of God who makes everything. Hold on here for a second. Sometimes see that we came up here this week, and I should have brought my old New King James version, because that just speaks to me so much. I love that old version of that. Okay, let's see. We're going to use both versions here. Let's see. Okay. See. Okay, so we got two Bibles out here today. As you see in verse 5 in the New International, and I do this all the time with Bible Hub. I'll combine 3 or 4 different Bible translations together if I'm trying to get a more clear thought to come across. As you do not know the path of the wind, or how a body is formed in a mother's womb, so you cannot understand the work of God, the maker of all things. Man, God is so far beyond. When we were on the ocean, we took that cruise, and my sister-in-law my brother had died. We were gone for 16 days. You look out at the vastness of the ocean, you're going, my gosh, there's so much water. And then you think about there's animals, thousands, several miles down there, frolicking in a pitch black darkness. And God did all this. We don't understand the wind or how a body is formed in a mother's womb. We can't figure this stuff out. It's just the mind of God. The creation, the universe is his signature. It's his autobiography. You can figure out the universe, you can figure me out. It's just, and even if you could figure the universe out, you still ain't never going to figure me out. It's just amazing. God is amazing. and we just take that. I mean, there's so much evidence of the amazingness of God. There's 1,000,000 Earths would fit inside our sun. Did you know that? The sun is over 1,000,000 times bigger than the Earth. 1.2 million Earths would fit inside our sun. And the biggest sun in the universe, 8,000 of our suns, would fit in that sun. Man, there's just like, whoa. This is the God who wants to be our Father. Isn't that amazing? Let's keep going. Sow your seed in the morning and evening, let your hand not be idle. For you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well. In other words, if you got different projects going on, keep working at all of them. You don't know what's going to, it's kind of like the 401k, and I don't get into 401k thing, but you buy a bunch of stocks because you don't know, and it'll diversify because you don't know which stocks. And so the diversification protects you from one or two stocks going bad. If you get 10 other good ones, or 5 and 5 or whatever, at least you're producing something. And so that's the point here. Let's see here. Remember your Creator while young. Light is sweet, and it pleases the eye to see the sun. However many years anyone may live, let them enjoy them all. But let them remember the days of darkness, for there will be many. Everything to come is meaningless. Let's see how this is pleasant. New King James. Truly, the light is sweet, and it is pleasant for the eyes to behold the sun. But if a man lives many years and rejoices all them, and rejoices in enjoys them all, yet let him remember the days of darkness, for there will be many. All that is coming is vanity. I'm trying to understand why you want to remember the days of darkness. However many years, let them enjoy them all, but let them remember the days of darkness. I guess it's what you learn, like with my brother dying and stuff. This is a point of remembrance. I'm always going to remember the time spent with him, those 12 days before he died and all that stuff. So, and they were dark days. And so, but we saw how the Lord was there with us in those dark days. So I guess that's the point here. Enjoy all your life, enjoy the good times, but you're going to remember the hard times and what you learned through it and what you went through and the life lessons you learned. You who are young, be happy while you're young, and let your heart give you joy in the days of your youth. Follow the ways of your heart and whatever your eyes see, but know for all of these things God will bring you into judgment. So then banish anxiety from your heart, cast off the troubles of your mind, for youth and vigor are meaningless. It's funny. It kind of strikes me funny. Let's do the first part. You who are young, be happy while you're young. Let your heart give you joy in the days of youth. So if you're young, enjoy being young. What's wrong with that? Enjoy it. But realize that there's still a judgment. Okay, I think he's saying, look, go and enjoy your youngness and have fun while you're a youth. But be careful, because God's going to bring you into judgment for the goofy, cruel, evil, weird stuff you do during that time. I think that's what it's saying here. Follow the ways you are, whatever your eye sees. But know for all these things, God will bring you into judgment. Let's see here. Let me read. Rejoice and let your heart cheer you in days of your youth. Walk in the ways of your heart and in the sight of your eyes. But know for all these things, God will bring you judgment. Again, the judgment that we're going to experience as Christians is the judgment seat of Christ. That's not a punitive judgment. That is a corrective judgment. Punitive would mean heaven or hell judgment. No, that's a corrective judgment. So for us, judgment is different from them at the end of time that experience the great white throne judgment, Revelation 20. Those people are standing before God, and the books of their life are being opened, and none of those people know Christ. Their deeds are examined, where as far as when we stand before Christ in the judgment seat, our hearts are examined to see what the motivation was, see if we followed the will of God, see if, and to check our life out with no danger of going to hell. It's everybody that stands before the judgment seat is saved, and everybody that stands before the great white throne judgment is lost. And those are the two separate judgments. So when you see about God bringing a judgment, that doesn't mean heaven or hell sometimes. What that means is that you're examined, your motivations are going to be judged. While you were young, stuff you did, was your heart right? Did you do things with the right motive? Or were you way out of bounds and stuff? And let's finish this out here. And follow the ways of so listen, if you know you're going to come under judgment, if you know, first of all, it's going to give you cause and pause to slow down and go, okay, You do a self-examination, as the AA says, a fearless moral inventory. If you're doing you realize, okay, I'm doing a fearless moral inventory. My life looks pretty good. I'm keeping myself out of darkness. When I do get into darkness, I repent. So you're walking with God on a daily basis, and He's keeping you on the straight and narrow. Then you can do what it says in 10. It says, so then banish anxiety from your heart and cast out the troubles of your body, for youth and vigor are meaningless. In other words, when you're walking with Him every day, He keeps you on the right path. And so just cast off all anxieties, basically, and just walk with Him. Just walk with Him. Because ultimately, being young doesn't mean anything. It's all meaningless. It is all the chasing after the wind. It is all vanity. Because life goes by like this. I've told you before, 1978, 79, we went on this trip. We did a 5-week trip, vacation. We left Connecticut in the 72, 73, and in 78, 79, we went on a 5-week vacation. And I can remember the parts of that vacation like it were yesterday. And that vacation now, if it's 78, that vacation was 47 years ago. 47, almost 50 years. This 3-4 years from now, 28, 29, it's going to be 50 years since that vacation. And where did 50 years go? They go by like this. That's why youth and vigor are vain. Why? Because you're going to go from young to old like that. It's that your life is going to move that fast. It's incredible how fast our life. And the older you get, there's a truism. The older you get, the faster it moves. Whew, crazy stuff. Anyway, that's the end of Ecclesiastes chapter 11. Then we read the Manifesto chapter 12 next time. It's fantastic. It's one of my favorite chapters. It is my favorite chapter in Ecclesiastes. It just covers so much good ground in chapter 12. But anyway, love you. Sorry about the back and forth. Certain verses were working better in King James, New King James, others are working better in New International. So you know what? I'm going to be open to that in the future if I need to do something like that. So anyway, we love you. Can't get enough of you. Appreciate you. Keep praying for us. We're at Mom's house. We're at my sister-in-law's house getting that cleaned up. It's starting to come together. It's coming together a little faster than I thought it would. So I have a feeling actually, after today, a lot of good work was done today. And we got like 3 weeks here. So just pray for good weather, pray for success, pray for no injuries while we're doing the work. I'm 60 years old. I've got to be careful. And just keep praying for us. We appreciate you. And again, this is widows and orphans. And this is James 1:27. What is pure religion? Taking care of widows and orphans in their need and keeping yourself from being polluted by the world. My sister-in-law is a widow of my brother. So this was one of my brother's last requests to make sure she was okay. And it's all going to sort itself out well. And it's already going well. So anyway, we love you and we will see you tomorrow. Have a blessed day.